Are you losing jobs to cheaper competitors? Do you feel like the only way to win work is to slash your price? Well, let me tell you, that's not the only reason why you're missing out. It's also about how you submitted your quote, how you presented yourself, and how you communicated during the tender. Hi, I'm Kevin from Cornerstone Estimating, and in this video, we're going to go through how to win more tenders without dropping your price. Tip number 1. Present like a pro. If your quote looks like a 10-year-old template and that you clearly not tailored the work to the specific project, it really kills your perceived competence. Builders want to work with subcontractors who are keen, organized, and reliable. That means you need to present your quote with a logical structure: prelims, site work, access, specific scope, any commercial items, a clear and concise itemized breakdown for your works, a list of clarifications for what's included and what's excluded, making sure there are no formatting errors, spelling mistakes, weird markups or unexplained numbers, and submit it in a formal PDF format, not a Word format or Excel, and definitely not in an email body text. Keep your quote short and concise. Avoid putting in any fluff to make your quote look really long, because a lot of that stuff doesn't make it into the contract anyway. Now here's an example of a pretty decent quote that I received, and I've just redacted some of the personal particulars so then we can go through it together. Alright, so here's an example of a pretty good quote that I got way back when. Yeah, and it's very, very descriptive. They've got the price for each individual item. They've got the area. This is for glass balustrade, by the way. Oh, well, metal screens and glass balustrades. Yeah, and they said they've put in the location, which apartment it's going. So they've done that throughout. So that's for metal screens. That's for a privacy screen. And then they've got some other bits and pieces here. So they're very clear, and they've clearly itemized what they've allowed for, and how many as well. So you've got the quantities and the height, etc. Yeah, and it's a good quote, man. Like, they got a short inclusions list, like a short exclusions, and then a few little bits and pieces here. It's not that fluffy, and a lot of the stuff can be easily digested and be negotiated later as part of the contract. So one more thing that was really good is that they also justify all this quantity and cost from the actual measure of the drawing. So they've measured it, yeah, and then just summarized that elementally in the quote. So it protects them. It's a very, very clear quote what needs to happen, and yeah, they've done a good job here. All right, now just for fun, here's an example of a not so good quote. Hi Kevin, we've given you the quotes. This is my cost for this system. This is that for GST. It's the best price. I want to help company. I will do high quality job, high quality material. Thanks. So yeah, don't do that. Like, you want to present yourself a little bit better. And yeah, like, when builders get stuff like this, it happens more often than you think. It's just you just have a good laugh, and you wonder, like, if this is what the quote looks like, how equally shoddy is the workmanship going to be? So yeah, don't do this. Tip number 2, nail your pricing strategy. You don't want your initial price to be too high, otherwise you risk pricing yourself out at the beginning before they even consider or look at your other attributes or what other value-added services you bring to the table. If you've worked for this builder or this client before, you might be able to get away with it, but if it's a new builder or a new client you have not worked before, you want to come in nice and sharp from the start so they don't immediately throw your offer in the bin. Also, the secret sauce here is really how you analyze the tender drawing and the specification. You know you can submit a sharp price because you have incorporated all of your smarts and you've optimized for all of the different efficiencies that is unique to your trade. There is a fine art here in how you declare these things in your list of clarifications in your tender. Tip number 3, strategic communication. Your interactions with the builder is also a strong indicator of your competence, your capability, and your reliability. Yes, just from emails and phone calls and being proactive, these interactions make a difference for the builder. And compared to your competitors who were silent or who didn't bother to follow up, they will be perceived as not keen. And if you're not keen to win the work, you definitely won't be keen when you're trying to do the work. However, there is a careful balance here. You want the job, but you can't come across as too keen, or you will look desperate and needy for work. This will end up becoming a massive red flag for you if you come off too strongly or too desperately. My advice is trust your gut. If you want to follow up and just to show that you're keen and you're capable, you can, but just make sure that when you call them, it is a high value call, like you have good questions, you have something noteworthy to bring up to add value to the tender, or to somehow bring your price down, or to add something or add some scope to the work. Also, asking smart questions is a good sign that you care about the project and want to price the job and provide good quality work. However, I do acknowledge that this can be a bit of a double-edged sword. What tends to happen is the smart questions and all the different smart optimizations that you bring to the table, the builder will take that and also let your competition know these are the kind of things to bring the price down. So the builder is in effect helping your competition be as smart as you. So you kind of want to keep that stuff up your sleeve. But again, it's a bit of a strategy there. My advice is when you price a job, you want to price it to win it, but you don't want to drop your pants to win it. Tip number 4. Build a strong reputation. You have to play the long game for this section, and you can't really do anything about it immediately. But your company's profile and reputation will also be considered when builders are shortlisting who to award. Things that they consider are past project references. Have you got a list of references from other builders who will vouch for you? Have you completed any projects recently where you can showcase your workmanship and your quality? Being responsive after award. Builders want to know that they've awarded the job to somebody who picks up their phone and is responsive all throughout the project. You need to be perceived as someone who responds to phone calls and emails and is solutions driven and prompt when it comes to resolving issues. Commercial capability and knowledge. Builders feel safer when they know that you're organized and that you're commercially aware and oblige the necessary paperwork on time. You are proactive and collaborative when it comes to variations. No one likes variations. So if you notify, communicate, and be proactive, this will also contribute strongly to your business's reputation. If you're perceived as a safe pair of hands, they will back you over a cheaper unknown any day. Tip number 5. Final negotiations. Alright, the builder has told you you're in the top 2 now, and often they will ask you for a best and final offer. It's part of the game. But instead of slashing your price, you reframe the strategy. Reaffirm your value. You've accounted for the project risk. You have a reputation to do a great job, and you get what you pay for. Don't crumble under the pressure. Tell the builder, look, I've submitted my best and final offer already. I can't go any lower without cutting corners and compromising the quality or delivery of the job. But I'm keen to work with you. Is there any flexibility in staging, scope, or payment terms that could help us meet in the middle? Assess what is your wiggle room. If the builder insists on squeezing you past your limit, understand what is your wiggle room and assess whether or not you still want to win the project. Stand your ground and hold your price. You already know it's as sharp as it can be, and you need to make money. Also, you can get someone like me to assess your quote to see whether it's high or low. Wink. Remember, you're not lowering your price, you're protecting your margin while staying competitive. The goal is to win the job by proving your value, not by racing to the bottom. At Cornerstone Estimating, we help subcontractors like you build quoting systems that wins more jobs, communicate with builders more effectively, and protect your margin and reputation. If you want to win better work without racing to the bottom, reach out to us in our website in the description box below. If you like this kind of content, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and leave a comment below so then I can interact with you and see what kind of questions you got. Let's get you coding smarter and winning more work without lowering your price. See you at the next one.